the shadows dwell. Jackdaws cawing as the mist rolls in, and the graveyard gate swings wide again. Midnight at the graveyard gate. Ghosts step out, they can't be late. Dancing slow in a spectral line to a ghost band beat in triple time. Tombstones hum with a hollow tone. Names long gone, but they ain't alone. Children whisper, best not wait at midnight at the graveyard gate. Yes, midnight at the graveyard gate. Ghosts step out, they can't be late. If you wander too close, best change your fate. Don't linger by the graveyard gate. So when the clock strikes and the fog is thick, best walk fast and best walk quick. For the spirits dance when the hour grows late. At midnight at the graveyard gate. Yes, midnight at the graveyard gate. Ghosts step out, they can't be late. If you wander too close, best change your fate. Don't linger by the graveyard gate.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Sulk Stream, Friday edition. And we're doing 4 hours tonight. I bet you can tell because we showed up at 6 o'clock. And we're going to go all the way to 10. So this is going to be a stretch. We're going to go to premium at 8 o'clock. And so if you guys want to put in some videos or something like that, I'm game for that. I was putting up a fence today. And I'm tired. I'm tired. It was a lot, but I'm not done. It's hopefully by the end of the weekend I should have it knocked out. That way I can get back onto Daywave. But yeah, welcome. We're gonna be talking about some more spooky stuff because it is October, and yeah, we're just gonna hang out and chill. Can we have a chill one? Let's just have a chill one. Hey Christian, let's have a chill one. Anyways, get comfy, get cozy, get those things pumpkin flavored. I don't know. Drink what you're drinking. If you're working, keep working. And if you are driving, please continue to drive safely. That's important to me. Right? 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 Anyways, yeah, this is about the Fayette Mall. And something spooky happened there, I guess. So, it'll be chill. Anyways, let's do this. I'm the Incredible Sulk. This is a Sulk stream. And this is called the Fayette Mall Incident. Enjoy.
Children shriek and then giggle more.
The Fayette Mall Incident.
Yeah. Rabbit City. Smoking a reefer.
On the evening of the
I mean, this is the day to do it. I mean, well, like, because most of my shows, they're very hard hitting. It's like news, and so I want you guys to pay attention. But not today. Not today. Just hit the like button and do whatever you want. Get fried.
5th of May, 2016.
Yeah.
An incident occurred at Lexington's Fayette Mall.
Everyone's chilling. That's good.
The official narrative as to what happened was that some sort of shoplifting spurred fight had broken out involving a dozen or more shoppers in the building. But from the beginning, the massive response...
Do you guys watch on your computers or do you watch from your phone? Or am I on like the big screen in your living room? Because some people do that. Some people put me on the big screen and that's flattering, right? I'm like the main attraction in your house. I appreciate that.
which was brought to bear for such a seemingly
Not to-
mundane issue.
not to say I
seemed
deserve that
strange to
position,
all
but-
onlookers
You know, thanks.
who were there to see it,
Thank you.
rather than a few cars being dispatched to wrangle the trouble.
All of
and
the
make
above.
any necessary-
You have me running on everything, the computer, the phone, and it's just very echoey. Am I on every room in your house where you just walk around and you can still hear just me, just my voice? I should do that at my house. I really should. I should do that at my house where I just play my own shows constantly, and then just dig it, just vibe on it.
necessary arrests. More than 100 police cruisers poured into the lots of the mall complex, a number which, it would later become evident,
You mute 5 of
represented
them.
the
Don't
entirety
do
of
that.
the active police force of the
No,
city.
no. Don't mute any of them. Keep them all going, but make sure they're just slightly out of sync, right? Keep them all going, but it's like row your boat, just a little bit out of sync, so it'll drive your wife crazy. I think that would be funny.
On the night of the
I don't
incident.
think she would think that's funny.
For
but
over 4 hours,
I'm not sure if she thinks I'm funny at all. I never see her in the chat.
the entrances and exits to the parking grounds of
Where
the
you
mall,
at, Miss
including
Christian?
all the associated restaurants in its orbit, were cordoned off, with none being allowed to come
Got my
or
grape
go.
drink.
About a half hour into this blockade,
Sorry for missing Daywave, guys. I know Daywave's kind of a snooze fest when I'm not there, but I had to do stuff. I have to I had to work on stuff. I got my own life going on here. I have my family, and my dog keeps running off and getting caught by the cops. The cops are bringing my fucking dog home and giving me tickets over it and shit like that. So I'm like, ah. But yeah,
several dozen state troopers called in from Richmond and Frankfurt
She
to
is your
join
cat?
this perimeter.
What?
And ended up operating the checkpoints at the
What?
entrances to the mall proper. Yet
You
more
have seen
poured
her.
in during the confused hours which followed. None who had been inside
you talking about your wife? Have I seen your wife? I don't think I have.
during this incident, whether employees
Rabbit City says you weren't there today. Oh, I get it because I'm muted. Yeah.
of the stores became or shoppers called
Wow. You didn't notice that the gay jokes weren't flowing? Right? The e-bike jokes and stuff like that. I told Royce I wasn't going to be on today, and he's all like, why? You going to be e-bike riding? I was just like, yeah, yes. Yep. Yeah, Royce. That's what I'm doing.
permitted to leave without undergoing
Goofy
brief
Boots.
questioning at these checkpoints.
How's your day been, Goof? You been doing good? How's the 3D printing? 3D, I trust? You haven't lost a dimension yet?
They took
They were
particular
flowing?
interest in those
Were they still making gay e-bike jokes? Because if they were, they owe me a royalties check or something, right? They can't make gay e-bike jokes when I'm not there. It just seems unfair, man.
who
You
said
know?
they had been in the food court.
You broke your printer on purpose or on accident? Did you take it back to it? Maybe. I don't know how sensitive those printers are. Thinking about getting one. I just don't need. I don't need another project. I don't. I know I want another project, but I already have a bunch of projects going.
Or the walk of storefronts which opened onto
You know,
the place they claimed
I got a lot going
where
on.
this brawl had
I've been stressing because bullshit keeps happening. Pricey bullshit keeps happening. And so
occurred. Those foolish enough to let slip they
Hey,
had
Big Bait.
taken videos or photos that day were encouraged, briskly, to delete these in view of the officers on watch. It was past midnight before the place had emptied out. Only 6 arrests were made, and the young men scooped up that night would never, in the end, after much posturing in the months that followed, be charged with anything. And yet 5 people would never emerge from Fayette Mall after that cool night in May.
damn, people died? Or did they just disappear? Where's Fayette? Where's Fayette? Lexington? Alabama. That's where Fayette is, right?
Their cars left
Lexington.
vacant in the lot, and their families left grappling for answers which never arose. The interior of one of the stores adjoining the food court, Castle Jewelers, had been irreparably damaged during the course of the night's events in ways that seemed far stranger than any simple robbery or riot could cause in so short a span of time.
Okay, tell us what happened.
2 of the 5 missing had been operating this store, and the other 3 had, authorities speculated, been inside during the incident.
Silva says, early today, John. Yeah. I have to do the Rumble Premium. So I'm doing 4 hours, and the last 2 hours are going to be Premium. And everybody with the red little castle gets in. So all of you so far, except for Rabbit City. He doesn't deserve it.
No bodies or real...
Sorry, Rabbit. I mean, it's not my fault. It's your fault. It's your fault for not getting gifted one of these subscriptions. You need to show up more.
Traces of tangible violence, like blood spatter or weapons believed to have been...
You skipped Friday because his shirt's off. I caught you, John. Yeah, well, I don't exactly, I don't need more reasons for them to make fun of me, dude. For some reason, you guys just target my nipples. And it's like a tiny target, right? Which is... And the rest of the time, it's e-bikes.
Used in an assault were ever recovered.
So I'm like, fuck it, I'm just going to be building a fence today. That's what I did. I built fence. I didn't even finish it. I got like a third done. I'm like, God.
So far as authorities let slip. There was some clamor over this throughout the remainder of 2016, as the families of the missing grew more and more frustrated with the stonewalling of Lexington's officials. But as is the nature of such things, culture and discourse and outrage rolled on to new targets as time marched ever forward. The shoppers and employees of the mall, too, remained remarkably silent, save for complaints about the inconvenience posed them by the police blockade.
Yeah,
I am sure that there are still letter writers and call makers today pestering the city police and state troopers for releases of information about the happening in Fayette Mall. Few today spare that decade-old spasm of strangeness and obfuscation much thought.
I'm using a post driver. One of those hammer things. I wish I had an auger. But no, I'm using a post driver. So like it's not like taking me as long as other, but it's still, it's an acre. So it's like it took me a while. And I ordered twice as many materials as I actually needed. So that's fun. I have to return half of it. At least I'll get my money back, hopefully. Knock on wood. There's nothing wood in here. I guess it's close enough.
Note. An obscure curiosity.
Is this the No Sleep podcast? Like where I go for like 13 hours? Doesn't Pessy do that? He does like the long burger where he does 13 hours? I wouldn't do that. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to just sit here for 13 hours. No. Would you guys watch me for 13 hours? I can tell you that after like 2 hours, 2 hours is usually my limit, but like I could probably stretch it to 4 hours sometimes, but like I get tired doing this. You guys don't understand how draining this is. I'm constantly trying to entertain you guys. I know it doesn't seem like that, but I am trying to bring you guys a good show. I swear to you, I'm actually trying 99% of the time. And so that's very draining on me. When I take a night off, I'm like, oh, I should be on the show right now. And then I look back at my watch and it's over. And I'm like, that flew by because I'm not constantly trying to crack jokes or fly around the internet and stuff like that. Would you guys like me to try to do a 13-hour stream? If you guys promise to show up, I'll consider it.
The sort of fare only openly discussed by people with a dime to grift off.
Christian says we are trying too. What, trying to watch? Is it really that difficult?
Late-night internet drifters.
Thanks.
Looking for a taste of conspiratorial mystery before they slide off to sleep.
You'd be more pissed if you didn't have enough material? Yeah. I would. But then now I have to ship it back and stuff it's not that big of a deal. I'm just sick of problems, I'm just sick of problems.
But the Fayette Mall incident was only one among a string of strange circumstances which arose that night, while the police in
Goofy says, I even get on his show. You get on Pessy's show every other day? I didn't know that.
Lexington were all seemingly occupied with haranguing evening
I don't watch Pessy's show.
mall-goers.
I don't.
The small
Sorry.
bluegrass
Every once in a while, I'll pop into Goofy's show just because, like, I happen to be chilling around that time. And then I see his thing, and then I pop in, and I say, what's up? What's up, Goofy?
airport in town diverted all
See?
flights to Louisville or Cincinnati
Back me up here,
until
bro.
morning.
Tell them I
claiming
do.
That their air traffic
Tell them I do that. I come in, I'm like, hey, that's some good 3D printing. Like, I fucking know. I have no idea, dude. Like, it really does seem interesting. Look, I even have, like, an engineering video queued up. I'm sure there's 3D printed stuff in here. We might watch that. We might not.
traffic control arrays were
Goofy Boots says confirmed.
malfunctioning.
Told
The
ya.
low trickle
Told
of
ya.
traffic the airport receives kept this a relatively minor blip on the radar for Lexingtonians.
Farrell says if you attempt a 13-hour stream, I will pop on and off. I do not have 13 hours in one block like that. No, I expect you all to call in sick, because it's going to be a weekday. I expect you all to call in sick, get a babysitter for your kids or whatever you got to do, and go into the bathroom, lock the door, bring snacks with you, probably some wine, and then I want you to watch me for 13 hours straight. 13 hours. No bathroom. You're already in the bathroom, so you might as well take your dumps and stuff while you're in there. And, people will be knocking on your door like, Mommy, we miss you and stuff like that. And you're like, shut up. Shut up, kids. I'm listening to the Sulk. I'm a Sulkopath. And Christian, I will make that happen. If I want to make that happen, I'm going to make that happen. I'm going to make it a thing, okay? Because I have that power. I have that.
To it can be easily
That's my
found
ability.
in back-page reports made by
I'll make it a thing.
local newspapers. Neighborhoods and apartment complexes on the western and southern edges of
Christian I got 3 hours with breaks for you. Okay, I'll take that.
town, from
That's
Beaumont
pretty
and
good.
Harrods
That ain't
Hill
bad.
through Robinwood and Monticello, experienced black
What would I do for 13 hours? What would I do? Should I just sit there and just vibe? Not even say anything. Just sit in front of, just stare at the camera. And try not to blink for 13 hours as you just watch my eyes dry out? That would be crazy.
outs despite the clear and chill weather.
Yeah.
This situation
I see the comments. I saw that comment. And I was like, you son of a bitch. I will make that happen. I went and told Jess about that. I was like, Christian said I wasn't going to make that a thing. And I'm like, I'll make it a thing if I want it to be a thing. It's a thing now.
was made all the stranger
It's a
by the
thing.
fact that these
I'm already having, despite making shirts and stuff. They're going to be sick, I'm sure.
power outages were inconsistent.
I'm sure.
With lights flickering off for an hour, returning to life the next, and then blinking out again later in the night.
Gaming streams are in easy mode. Here's the thing about gaming streams for me. I feel like they're kind of boring for you guys. Because, yeah, I could sit there and, play games for, several hours and, not say much. But, that's not what I do. I'm a comic. I'm a comedian. I like to think so, but a lot of people have their doubts. And so, if I'm not, actually actively telling jokes and, speaking or, filling the dead air, I kind of feel like it's a waste of everybody's time. And so I do these. And I feel awkward when I'm gaming. And don't get me wrong, I like gaming. I do it. I do it plenty. It's just I'm not talking much. And then you guys are just watching a game. You know how many freaking game streamers there are on Rumble and YouTube and shit. Here, let's look them up. Didn't need any of that, but gaming. It really pushes gaming. And some people get a lot of views, I guess. I don't get it. Like, who's that one big one? The Dr. Disrespect. I've never seen one of his shows. But there's a lot of gamers, and they just kind of do the same thing. This guy's playing Tarkov. This is not Tarkov. Elden Ring, alright. Is he actually going to say anything?
Yeah. Well, my plan was maybe for you to.
Oh, this is Silver Fox. Didn't somebody bang his wife? Or like he likes getting cucked or something like that? That's just a rumor. I don't know if that's true. But I mean, look, he's actually gaming and like, you know, people are watching it, so that's something. That's something. I'm just sitting here watching documentaries and like spooky stuff because it's October. But some people just sit there and play games. Are you that good at games? Are you that good at games? I don't get it. I don't get it, man. Silvis.
Electricity would be uninterrupted in Stonewall, only to
His
die
wife is a porn star? Is she?
out just as neighboring Indian
That is a mistake.
Hills got its power restored. The confusion regarding these outages and the complaint calls.
I want to see a day in the life. Let's see some fence building. I hear there are ducks. I want to see the floating deer head. You know, well, the floating deer head, I think turtles ate it. So it's gone now. But yeah, there's otters, there's ducks, there's catfish and stuff back there. You want to just watch me build a fence? You want to watch me do that? Like on live stream? I could probably figure that out. I could probably make that happen. Like from my phone? Yeah, I could probably do that. Dude, I know a bunch of people would come in and be like, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. I don't give a shit. Okay, I'm doing it wrong. Fine. Are you going to come and help me? No. Well, then shut your stupid mouth. How about that? At least I'm doing it. At least I'm bringing it into reality, okay? But you just get a bunch of naysayers be like, bam, 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 bam. I don't care. I don't care. I'm not an expert carpenter. I understand this. Okay? At least I'm out here doing it.
which accompanied them, baffled energy providers in town.
Do you have to wear cut-off jean shorts and a mesh tank top while doing it? Like a yellow construction hat? I'm not going to do that, dude. I'm not going to do that. I considered it. It like flashed through my mind for a second, but I'm like, nah.
Town as much as it confused the residents. For whether at headquarters
And your gay
or in
bike
field,
can come.
technicians could not find.
It's not gay. It's actually pretty fucking sweet. So you don't even need to say that, right? If it was like a Pee Wee Herman bike or something, I'd be like, yeah, okay, it's gay, whatever. It ain't gay. It's pretty badass. That's a bad. It's got like a surfboard rack on it. It's got the bags on the back. It's pretty sweet.
Find a source for the surges
pretty
which
sweet.
caused them. But sometime past midnight, these interruptions ceased.
Frail says we're going to do that regardless, building something or not. Yeah. See, here's the thing with people online. They're not positive. There's no, I mean, like, they're not a positive gang. They're not a positive group. A lot of them are pretty bad off mentally and physically. And so I'm probably going to have like a 300-pound dude, 350-pound dude be like, oh, you're not even putting the post straight. I'm going to putting a post up. Wow, you're taking a long time. You can't even get up from your chair. Look at me. I'm chiseled. I'm like ripped and stuff like that. I got nice shoulders. Can't even get up from your chair.
And as is the way of things, within a week the outages had been all but forgotten. The bright night sky, too.
Is ROTC over at 6? I don't watch them. I refuse.
Drew its fair share.
Even though I have the locals and I like have them, but I didn't pay for it. No, it's perks of the job, right? I get to meet famous people. I get to I get to go on trips to like Vegas and stuff. It's pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet. You know. It's called the good life. Okay? It's not that good, though.
Perhaps enhanced by the sudden
Goofy Bit says, really nice shoulders. Jealous. Thank you. Thank you. Like, they're a good feature of mine. Thanks.
darkness brought about by a large swath of the city losing its lighting. There were many reports of strange ring.
Farrell says, I'm positive you're doing it wrong. That counts. Yeah. No. And I agree with you. I just don't want to hear it. Right? Because, like, no one taught me how to do anything in my life. Ever. I mean, even teachers, I don't give a fuck about teachers. I fucking hated my teachers. But, like, my dad didn't teach me to, like, fish or, like, or do basic carpentry work or something. He was busy working, at the office and shit like that. He didn't teach me to do it. I had to learn everything myself. So if I fuck something up, I'm like, yeah, that's expected. I expected that to happen. Didn't teach me about car parts or anything like that. Now I'm pretty good with engines. You just need to throw yourself at it. You think somebody taught me how to do this? No. Nobody did. Nobody's ever taught me anything.
Cloud formations which coalesced in the sky west of Lexington, over horse pasture and rolling hill, only to dissipate to vapor and obscurity within minutes like disruptions.
Farrell says we would help. I've built a fence, been up strong for over 5 years now. Look, I know my fence is going to be fine. I can YouTube things, all right? It's not like we're in the 1600s where I'll like, I don't know how to do shit, and I can't even read or anything like that. If I want to learn how to build something, I just YouTube it. It's like, boop, 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 and there. I'm essentially an expert in like 2 hours. And so it's not that big of a deal. I can figure it out. This is why I don't even know why we put money into education. Why do we do that? Why do we seriously do that? It's not making people smarter. Test scores are going downhill fast, and we just keep pumping money into it like it's not supposed to be some sort of slush fund for like politicians and their friends. Come on. We know it is. We all know it is. Come on. We know that's all corrupt. The teachers' unions, the Department of Education, all corrupt as shit. Well, I guess there's no Department of Education anymore, right? Good. But yeah, I don't know why we actually put money into those programs whatsoever. Because we're essentially forced to. Even if you don't have kids, your property taxes go right into it. It's not fair. It's not fair at all. Corruption. That's what it is. It's 100% corruption. I can learn anything I want. I can learn, master's level physics and, like, quantum theory from the YouTube. And probably be a lot better at it if I, instead of going to, like, an Ivy League school. I'll just have some Indian guy explain it to me on the internet, and I'll be like, okay, I get the gist of it. Right? It's not hard. We have the internet. We have a compendium of all human knowledge at our fingertips. Why are we actually paying people who don't know shit? Teachers don't know shit. They really don't. If they knew shit, they wouldn't be teachers. That's a hard, solid fact.
On open water. Low and reverberating drums, far different.
I don't even know who Ashton Forbes is.
Than spring or summer heat lightning and thunder, sounded long through the night.
Farrell says, when I got my first car with my job, when I got in trouble, I wouldn't get my keys taken away. My mother would take a part off my car and tell me as soon as I put it back on, I can leave it. What? She would just start taking parts off your cars? Like headlights and shit? Hey, Mayo. Thanks for the sub. Appreciate that. Just start taking parts off your cars. Like a spark plug? Or like cut your brake lines. Was she like a psychopath? And Rabbit City got it! Nice, Rabbit. Okay, well, congratulations, bud.
Horse breeding farms out that way reported several strange losses among their herds in the aftermath. A thing.
Pat says Dr. Mike's PhD dissertation got ripped apart on YouTube by some random dude. That shit doesn't mean anything. Yeah, dude. That's why they have diploma mills now. Because they don't mean anything. As long as you have a diploma, it doesn't really matter where, then it counts, right? It's probably better if you have like, oh, I went to Harvard and stuff like that. Sure, that's probably better. But like still, people who go to Harvard don't need to be applying for jobs. People who go to Harvard are already rich as fuck. They're already connected as fuck. Harvard is not about the smartest people. Because that David Hogg guy went to Harvard. That kid had like a C average. He was retarded. And he weighs like 85 pounds. That doesn't have anything to do with... But like, what a bitch, right? Come on, dude. Put on some fucking muscle. Yeah. It's all political and stuff now. And if you're in the inner cloister, you get to go to these one of these fancy Ivy League schools. But you don't even need to, because you're already well connected enough to get into one of these Ivy League schools. So you're basically dicking around for 4 years until you go home and you get a job with your dad, right? That's the gist. So just get it from anywhere. Go to an online college, right? Signing up for fucking student loans is the dumbest shit you could possibly do. I've seen a lot of people. I've seen stories from a lot of people just buried like $300,000 in debt. $300,000 in debt. Even if you went for a degree that was like in law or engineering or stuff like that, you're not getting a job. No, what are you going to do? Paralegal work until you actually make partner? Well, too bad you can't even get in the ground level because ChatGPT is handling all that shit now. Even with engineering. Probably with a lot of doctors, too. People are getting fired left and right because they're not really needed. They're not really needed and cutting down on... Yeah, there's a lot of jobs on Indeed or like, there's job listings and stuff, but that shit's all fake. Those aren't real jobs. There's just some weird legal loophole that a company has to have job offerings up, but they never actually hire anybody.
Keenly noticed in a region famed for its extravagant lines of racing breeds. A dozen healthy young stallions and mares of storied competitive lineages dropped dead in their stables without warning of seemingly natural causes. And in a place where such beasts can be worth their weight in gold, this happening was perhaps the most widely discussed of the night's many strange occurrences. Most of the screaming, agitated animals which...
Farrell says, college is a scam. I went to college. I did my degree for a while. It day shit. But then I went through trade school and making great money with employer. But that's right. You're an electrician. You're an electrician now. Well, there you go. At least you fucking figured it out, dude. A lot of people don't figure it out. They're all like, but I wanted to be... I don't know. What do people go to school for? Like a BA in business or something like that? Something totally general and non-specific. And they're all like, I wanted to be in business. Well, you're not, are you? No, you're not. You're not doing anything. You're just fucking grub hubbing.
survived whatever was at work that night were found come morning to have thundered through the shattered doors of luxury.
Big B says, I have a feeling some of those jobs will come back. AI screws up too much. Yeah, I've heard stuff like that. Maybe temporarily, not permanently in any way. Like, sure, maybe AI, maybe they just jumped the gun a little bit. But you know what else they jumped the gun on? Was the internet, right? There was this huge tech bubble in the early 2000s with like pets.com and stuff. And everyone started investing in the internet. And then the bubble popped. And then everyone's like, the internet ain't shit. It still is. It like the internet is here, man. So maybe the same thing happens with AI. Maybe it'll have like a bubble pop, right? And then everyone will be like, it was a hoax the whole time. And then like 2 years later, it's going to come back and just rule everything. So yeah, maybe, sure. I could see how people got a little bit overly aggressive and then just started firing everybody because they thought AI would take over the jobs. But if they do hire people back, that would be temporary. Temporary. I mean, like, 5 years would be the very latest. Like, the very longest I could see anybody. I'm going to sneeze. Hold on. Excuse me. Yeah, 5 years tops. I mean, like, you'll be better off in the trades. Like, fairly, you're an electrician. So, I mean, like, you'll be better off than most people. But, like, eventually they will have robots doing that. When? I don't know.
Luxurious barns
Soon.
and bedded down
Soon.
in pasture corners, seemingly desperate to put distance between themselves and their dying kin.
I didn't get one bless you.
Whether it be cloud or droning call or equine death, these two would
Farrell says bless you.
go unexplained, and the wealthy owners
Thank you.
who suffered the losses were forced to silently eat the cost. None of these events have, so far as I've seen, ever been linked.
Gary says, but it could be like NFTs where the bubble pops and doesn't come back. No, that's not it. No, absolutely not. NFTs are something completely different. Non-fungible tokens were like basically a new crypto, and essentially they're the same thing. The thing about NFTs is nobody understood what the fuck they were. All right, they were just numbers. They were just specific numbers that, you know, didn't really mean anything. Oh, look, I have an NFT. It's a fucking monkey. It means nothing. It was a gambling thing. People thought it was something because they didn't understand what the fuck it was. It was nothing. Just like crypto. Crypto is essentially nothing. Crypto is essentially nothing. I mean, if you really want to boil it down, what crypto could be is a representation of energy, right? It takes a certain amount of energy to mine a token. You buy that token, so you're buying energy that has been already used. So, yeah. It's not like something you can use in the future. I don't know. It just seems like it's not worth anything. And even though a lot of people have made a lot of money on it, it still doesn't mean anything. It's not worth anything. It's like a baseball card. Yeah, that's neat that you have one and that you have a bunch that are worth millions of dollars apparently, but it's not a thing. That's not a thing, dude. That's not a real thing. There's a bunch of conspiracy theories about crypto going on, and like the longer, because I have crypto. I'm not going to lie to you. I have crypto. But I mean, is it actually going to be worth anything in like a long term? I kind of doubt it. But I don't know. That's like one of those weird newfangled things. I'm just an old fogey. I'm an old fogey. I don't know. I know the boomers are starting to buy crypto, and when the boomers get involved, that's usually when they pull the rug. You know, when the boomers get involved, because they're the last of the, you know, they're the last adopters, right? And they have all the money, so when they start getting involved, they'll buy millions of dollars worth of crypto, and then that's when they're going to pull the rug. Maybe it's just this big, long con, you know? I hope it doesn't, you know, because a lot of people would be absolutely ruined, and that would be sad. But I wouldn't be terribly surprised if I turned on the news one day, maybe next year, and they're like, oh yeah, Bitcoin crashed to zero. I'd be like, checks out. That checks completely out. Somebody's running around with $1 trillion fucking dollars, laughing his ass off. And I'll be like, okay, that's pretty good. That was a long play. Satoshi Nakamoto, or whatever your name is, probably something with a Steen or a Berg in it. That was a good play, bro.
By observers, official or otherwise. All report
it would be a good play
on them is either the tone of mundane recitation, or in the case of stranger things like the horse deaths, the tongue-in-cheek mood of humorous allusion to aliens.
Dan Snout says boomers are fooled first, Gen Xers are the last ones. Yeah, well, with crypto, boomers didn't start buying crypto until like later on, right? Because they didn't know what it was. But now they're starting to pile on. Usually, the boomers are pretty easy to fool. And in this case, they still are.
Or livestock
They still
mutilations.
are. The most naive people on the planet. It's like how they all think they're geniuses because they have tons of money, but they don't realize that they're not hardworking geniuses. They've just been gassed up for decades. And so they're like, everything I touch turns to gold, so I might as well, just touch stuff. And then they just get scammed time after time after time, right? And then they end up broke. And they're like, it's okay. I could just work my way up to the top again. Oh, wait. How much are things costing? And how much do I actually make at this Taco Bell job? This was not like the 70s. What?
The forgetful.
Yeah, it's not like the 70s. It's not at all like the 70s. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps, boomer.
Day-to-day existence has obscured these things, even in the minds of those.
Leo says boomers need to hurry up and get in a coffin already. Here's the thing about that, dude. They might not ever get into a coffin. That's what I'm like kind of worried about. Well, we have technology advancing pretty quickly, and a lot of boomers are going to live into like the mid 2030s. And I don't know if AI is going to come out with some sort of weird live forever serum or something like that, where they're going to achieve longevity escape velocity is the term they use. Which means basically they're going to advance science faster than people can age, which essentially means they won't die anymore. They won't die off. If that's the case, which is looking pretty likely, I would give it a 50-50 shot. And if that's the case, then basically we're just going to be an underclass to people born in the 60s forever. Forever. Kick that one around. Kick that one around in your head. It'll be an issue.
Who experienced them firsthand, and who can blame them? After all, the grueling concerns of life stack up.
Farrell says, so all boomers but the ones I live. And then she corrected herself and said live.
And to dwell too deeply and wonder too much on problems past is to ignore the duties of the present. But I have not forgotten. I have not been able to forget. And so long as what I saw that May night all those years ago lingers...
I wish I could think that way, but I love my grandparents. Yeah, dude, I mean, like, what... Your grandparents are probably going to die. Like, are they rich? Are they rich? Are your grandparents rich? Look, not all boomers are rich, but a lot of them are. And, like, the richer ones are going to have better access to stuff like that. So the poorer boomers are probably going to die off. Probably. But again, I don't know. This life extension technology might be super cheap or, like, essentially free. Or it might be covered by the government or something like that. Remember, boomers still vote. And so if some sort of technology came out that extended somebody's life forever, they would all vote for the FDA to get on the bandwagon. Because usually it takes about 10 years for the FDA to approve a drug, right? The FDA, the boomers would be like, yeah, get rid of that shit. Let's do the pandemic thing where you basically just rushed it through without doing any testing and made everybody on the planet take it. Right? So who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? I think I'm firmly in the lifespan where, like, I'll be able to receive it, and many of you as well. Because I would doubt that by the time I was like 65 that they haven't figured that out, especially with the rate of technology growth. But I could still die in a war, I could die from being poisoned to death. I could die in a pandemic or something like that. So it is what it is. I don't think I'll die from old age like most people have, and basically everybody has in all of history. It's weird times we live in. It's weird times.
Unspoken in me. I do not believe I will ever be able to turn my back upon it. What put me in that place where it all unfolded, so alien an environment to me, that night?
Gary says, I swear to God, if boomers become immortal, I will kill them myself. Dude, I'm just saying, that might be a thing where there's going to be like Van Helsing's going around putting fucking stakes through boomer hearts, which is going to be like something. That'll be something, dude. Like just some guy going around sneaking into huge boomer houses. Because they live like vampires. Like a gigantic mansion at the top of the hill that you're like, oh yeah, people don't go up there. I'll take you this far, but I will not go further. Some guy on a horse. Yeah, they do live like vampires. I know a lot of boomers, dude. And like some of them have like $7 million houses. And I'm all like, dude, it's just you here. It's just you. And he's all like, yes, it's mine. And then he like gets out of bed. He doesn't even like, he just like does this. All right? He's like 90 years old. I'm like, I need to get some garlic. They do seem like vampires.
It was, in the end, Thomas, an old friend of mine, who dragged me to Fayette that evening.
Farrell says, I don't want to live forever. That sounds exhausting. Okay, Farrell. Do you want to live out the year? How about that? Do you want to live out the year? Do you want to live out next year? Do you want to live the year after that? I'm just saying, like, people say they don't want to live forever until they get hit with cancer, and they're like, oh, I kind of wanted to live a little longer than I was, People say they don't want to live forever, but when the Reaper comes, they're like, wait, hold on. Let's just push that back a little bit further. And that's what people are going to do. They're just going to keep pushing it back. We do that now. Jess's grandmother lived 93 years. She wanted to die. She's dead now. But like, people, they just keep living. They just keep living. Even when they're old as shit and they're like, this is uncomfortable, I'm just going to still cling to life. Imagine being youthful, though, right? Being 25, 35 years old for eternity. Then you're not like, I don't feel like dying because this is pretty sweet. Trust me. Trust me, you're going to be like, yeah, I'm okay, I'll live forever. Or indefinitely. But it's not forever. No one lives forever. Being alive, you have to die. That is the nature of being alive, right? There's going to be a heat death in the universe one day. The sun is going to expand and envelop the planet in a fiery ball of death. So there's no way you're going to survive forever. But maybe statistically 10,000 years, maybe? Which would be a lot.
He called me up to Lexington from Danville that night to play a session of a game he'd started up with some friends from classes at UK. Those sorts of tabletop excursions are nearly always a disappointment when undertaken with strangers. And though I'd been happy to fill in for my friend...
Despite I told you there was a show tonight. And yeah, I skipped last Friday because I didn't have to fill my Rumble Premium because I already got filled up. But I didn't fill it up tonight, so I have to do it. I have to be here, right? It's contract. It's a contract,
And I was also happy when the session ended early, and I escaped my obligation.
Christian says, don't worry, John will start over for you. If you can give me a list of talking points that I've already covered and then like send them to me, I can rattle them off. I can't tell you that I'm going to cover everything I've said, but just a list. Dude, we cover a lot of ground on this program, right? That's why I'm not gaming. If I was gaming, I wouldn't talk about nearly as much shit as I'm talking about. Watch this guy. Watch. Gaming. Watch this guy.
Crack. If you're gonna do crack,
He's
you
like-
crack the one.
He's at the start of.
That's not a game, you stupid dickhead. Okay, Silver Fox, the porn star
Okay,
guy.
people want to complicate everything. You don't need pizza with 1,000 toppings on it. Like literally, pepperoni is perfect.
Okay, he's talking about pepperoni pizza. He's not talking about life extension. He's not talking about how the boomers might live like vampires for the rest of history, just lording over us as we work the fields for like turnips and stuff like that. He's talking about pizza. I'm just saying, I wouldn't talk about as much stuff. I'd be playing the games, rocking the games.
To them. We'd held the game
Please don't turn on gaming.
at a small rented house tucked into the older neighborhoods across Nicholasville Road, opposite the mall, which Thomas shared with a handful of other students. And when the crowd went their separate ways,
Gary says, I've been confronted with death a few times. I'm confident in the world that awaits me, so while I don't want to die necessarily, I'm also not scared of it. Let me pitch something at you, Gary. Do you know what quantum immortality is? Have you heard of quantum immortality? If you know something about physics, you probably heard about this experiment called Schrodinger's cat. Schrodinger's cat. Where basically there's a cesium atom in a box, and it has a 50-50 rate of decaying over a certain amount of time, and if it decays, it strikes like a bottle of poison, and it kills the cat, right? So over a certain amount of time, there is basically a 100% chance of this cesium atom decaying, killing the cat. So we don't know if the atom has decayed until we actually open the box and collapse a wave function, forcing the atom to take one state or another, right? So the cat lives in both alive and dead parallel realities. Now, how this equates to quantum immortality is basically every time that you might have died in a parallel reality, and you didn't realize it because you woke up here in this reality where you were not dead. So, you might be dead. We might all be dead. Who hasn't gone through a close call? I've gone through a number of them. I'm still alive. And a lot of times I'm like, I probably shouldn't have survived that. Just saying. So maybe, if that's the case, maybe none of us ever die. And a lot of people are like, well, what about old age and stuff like that? Well, you've never had a dream where you're old? You've never forgotten a dream? And then you wake up and you're like a baby, or you're 10 years old, or something or other like that, just in another parallel reality. It could be that we don't have this, like, death. We see other people die, but we don't die ourselves. We just constantly branch off into our own realities because our own consciousness has to be aware to create the reality. Us being alive and looking at things actually creates reality. So if we were no longer alive, reality wouldn't be alive. Reality wouldn't exist. Yeah. Look it up.
he asked me to come over to Fayette and grab
It sounds like some woo-woo sciencey magic bullshit. Erwin Schrödinger was a pedophile. Okay, you're probably right about that, but I mean, like, you can't disprove it.
dinner with him so we could properly catch up. It had been a year or two by then since we'd talked in person, unmitigated by
Cheddar says I've had too many close calls, but not close enough to actually die. Really? What?
mutual friends.
I'm surprised you haven't actually died. I thought it was Ghost of Cheddar that was coming through on my chat.
Though, despite my lack of enthusiasm
Did you take a marijuana, John? Did you take a marijuana?
for mall food, or the loud crowds of teenagers and college students, I accepted willingly.
You guys want to dive down that rabbit hole? We can dive down that rabbit hole.
Sit on down.
I mean, let's go ahead. You guys want to trip? Let's trip. Quantum immortal. There we go. You guys want some of this? I'll serve it up.
It's easy to think that quantum mechanics is just a theory about tiny particles.
Cheddar says, dab time. Oh, indeed it is.
More.
Oh, indeed it is.
But what if I told you that it might predict that you can never truly die? Quantum
2 marijuanas? No, I have done 0 marijuanas today.
immortality. Quantum theory tells us that the world behaves in ways that defy classical determinism, famously described by Einstein as God playing dice.
Gary says he was both a pedophile and not a pedophile at the same time until somebody checks his hard drive and reality collapses to one of those states. I mean, you're absolutely right.
Left to their own,
You're
particles
absolutely...
don't have
You get it. You get it.
definitive positions or velocities. They are everywhere.
Big B says, I'm pretty sure we all died in 1999. Everything seems like a scam after 2002. Well, here's another thing, right? The Large Hadron Collider was turned on 2006? Something like that? 2007, 8? And after that happened, shit kind of sucked. So people thought that maybe the LHC actually made a black hole which enveloped the entire planet and destroyed us all, and then we all just moved over to the next closest reality where we're not dead. And so here we are, and it sucks in this reality. It's garbage juice.
And nowhere all at once. In truth, quantum mechanics is perhaps best understood as a theory of superpositions. For example, an isolated electron does not have a sharp spin up or spin down state. Rather, it is quite literally in a superposition of both at once.
I'm not reefing, all right? You guys, just listen.
It's only when
Listen.
we look at it that the electron seems to choose. This behavior is most clearly illustrated with the famous double-slit experiment. Gradually shoot just one electron at a time against a wall with 2 small holes in
I'm into the double slut experiment. No high fives? None? Come on.
it, and you'll get an interference pattern on the other side. Somehow,
It caused a 2008 stock market crash. Yeah. Or it could have been ninja loans, giving strippers 5 house loans because, they're always going to go up.
even a single electron acts as if it travels through both slits at once, producing that interference pattern. Indeed, the electron acts just like a wave, with phase maxima constructively interfering to create peaks and minima combining into troughs. But if we put a detector on one of those holes, thereby allowing us to track which hole it went through, the interference pattern disappears and we just are left with 2 smudges. They now seem to act like particles. The consequences of this simple experiment are perhaps
Gay? Gay. Gay. Gay?
the most profound in all of physics. It deeply uproots our common sense intuition, and it reveals quite clearly that the universe is not.
Gary, are you still talking about how Schrodinger was a pedophile? Yeah, dude. Yeah, okay, fine. Look, yeah, and, look. A lot of them were. Okay? Like, a lot of them were. We're not talking about his we're talking about, like, the on paper and stuff like that. Right? I believe you. I really do. But, like, we're not, we're not talking about that.
It seems. If you feel confused or perplexed by this, then
Feral Pigeon gave me a high five and so did Spite. Yeah, thanks. Thanks, bros.
well, you're in good company. For even Richard Feynman, who helped develop quantum electrodynamics, famously stated, I think I can
Shimo Street. Hey, dude. Sorry. I'll pop it between Rumble and my thing because, what's up, Shimo? Dan Snot for a $5. Thanks, bud. He says, glad to see you are okay after your e-bike accident. Hope they get it sewn on this time. It's not necessary, but okay.
Can safely say that nobody understands quantum mechanics.
Okay.
And so physicists and philosophers have argued for a century about what quantum mechanics really means for the nature of reality. One
Means you're gay.
thing they do largely agree on is that prior to any measurement, the nature and evolution of
Hey, buddy, you want to go jerk off this water with me?
these superposition states can be described like a wave. Indeed, we call this the wave function, first written down by Erwin Schrödinger 100
You're telling me that guy was a pedophile? I don't believe it.
years ago. But the real question is, how does this quantum wave-like state suddenly transition into the more familiar classical particle-like behavior post-measurement? For decades, the dominant view has been the Copenhagen interpretation. That is, that these superposition states persist until they are observed, at which point they collapse down into a single sharp state with a probability given by the Born rule. That is a probability given by the square of the wave function. This certainly
perfect.
produces
Does everyone get that? Does it take it down in your notes? The born thing.
exquisite agreement to experiment. Indeed, it is arguably the most precisely tested theory in all of science, verified to within parts per trillion precision. But it doesn't explain ontologically what's really going on. First off, it's important to say that most physicists reject the idea that wave function collapse in any way involves human consciousness. Instead, these measurements could simply be an interaction with the environment, such as a stray photon near one of the slits. But then here's the problem. Surely that photon then also becomes mixed up in this superposition, a combination of striking the electron and not striking it. Certainly, we know that superpositions are not limited to individual particles. Entire ensembles
You're not going to guess what Richard Feynman was. Was he a pedophile?
can be in a superposition too, in which case we describe them as being entangled to one another. In fact, that is the basis behind quantum computing.
Okay, fine. I don't trust quantum physicists. All right? I keep them at arm's length. You know, whenever I'm out and about, I'm like, oh, hey, what do you do? He's like, I'm a quantum physicist. I'm like, get out of here. Get out of my town. Right? I don't want any of your non-Newtonian bullshit around here.
Teleportation and cryptography. So as our electrons from earlier proliferate out into the wider world,
He's all
then
like,
surely
what?
too should have this superposition state, this march of entanglement spread out too, eventually even encompassing human observers. But of course, the problem is in our everyday life, we
Background noise says, Jason Bourne makes electrons. Got it. Yep. Electrons.
do not experience any kind of superposition effects. So surely something is missing here. This weirdness is most vividly elucidated with the
What kind of psychopath kills cats? So I'm going to put this cat in a box and I'm going to see if it's dead. Yep, it's dead. Give me another cat. No, I'm not just going to give you cats to kill, dude. You think he goes to like the Humane Society and stuff like that, and they're like, oh, it's you again. What do you have, like 40 cats at your house? It's like, no. I don't think we can give you any more cats.
the infamous Schrödinger's cat experiment.
We thought he was okay.
Imagine-
We thought he was okay. He wasn't Asian or anything like that. So he was like, yeah, this guy just likes cats. Let's just give him cats. But then he keeps coming back. We're all like, we're getting a little sus about you, bro. Are you a pedophile?
a cat in a box with a bottle of poison that will crack open at a certain time with a 50-50 probability governed by the outcome of a quantum measurement, say whether an electron is spin up or down. Now, after the critical moment passes, the electron can be described as being in a superposition.
I would like a half-dead cat, but I don't know which side. Like the you could just get a paralyzed cat. But like, what if the front half was dead? Yeah, the front half was dead, so like it would just push its dead corpse along with its hind two legs, and wow, that would be haunting.
Of both states. And since the measurement device
Wow, it popped up in my head, and I hate it.
is entangled with this quantum system, then so too must be the cat, existing in a bizarre superposition of being both dead and alive. Wave function collapse via the Copenhagen interpretation at first seems to resolve this paradox, but it comes with many problems. For example, why is it that the observer, be it a stray photon or the cat, or indeed we who open the box, are allowed to be considered somehow distinct classical entities, whereas the electron has to be considered quantum? Surely everything deep down is truly quantum. There's also no mechanism for this mysterious, unitary, and frankly ad hoc wave function collapse, and so not surprisingly, debate has raged for decades about what quantum theory really means.
It means we don't see it like, okay, things don't exist until we look at them. Specifically us humans. Specifically us humans. Because I don't think this works with like cats and dogs and shit. Us humans, if we look at things, they exist. That's the gist. That's the long and short of it. This is supported by science and all that nonsense. And it's like, why? Why that? Why do only things exist when we see them? When not machines, us, not cats or dogs, us. Why? Why indeed?
I sincerely hope that this is the last time that I find myself here.
You just don't get it, do you, Jean-Luc? The trial never ends.
Gay?
In
Q. But gay.
1957,
His name is Q. He's gay.
Princeton graduate student Hugh Everett proposed a radical alternative interpretation. Put simply, the wave function never collapses.
You kind of agree with this, Farrell? You agree with me? Good.
Ever. Collapse implies that the...
You should. There's no reason not to agree with me. I am the cult leader. I'm the cult leader. So I do... Yeah, I make things like Sulkopath happen. Right, Christian?
The states in the superposition simply disappear, and only one persists. Everett suggested that all possible outcomes of a quantum measurement occur, evolving in separate, non-interacting branches of reality. This so-called many worlds interpretation was, for a long time, largely ignored by the physics community, but in the last decade or so, it has risen to being a serious contender, championed by the likes of Sean Carroll, David Deutsch, and Max Tegmark. You know,
why do like scientists always dress weird? They wear like leather jackets and stuff. Like the guy that runs like NVIDIA and stuff, he's got like a cool leather jacket, and like scientists are weird people. They're goofy as shit. I mean, they're wasting their lives, honestly, on something that doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. Like really, there's the quantum. Does this matter? How much? When was the last time you got laid? It's been a while, huh? I bet.
Everett's idea is really pretty simple. He just takes the
Schrödinger
equation completely seriously.
Farrell says, quit trying to make fetch and sulkopathy a thing. No, and I'm not trying to make fetch a thing. But sulkopathy, I am going to make that a thing. So, and I don't care what you guys think. I don't give a shit what you guys think. I'll make it a thing for people that don't watch my show. I have that power.
There is no collapse
I
in
do.
that equation. And so that means that the electron, the box, the cat, you, me, indeed the entire universe are described by
Hog says, I cut my left titty Wednesday. Congratulations on your top surgery.
One gigantic wave function, often dubbed the universal wave function.
Oh, was it on purpose?
In place of collapse, the many worlds interpretation explains the classical appearance of our macroscopic world by a concept known as decoherence. So the question is this: if the entire universe is in a superposition, then why don't branches interfere with each other like they do in the double-slit experiment? The answer lies in phase coherence. In simple systems, quantum waves stay in sync, and that allows them to interfere. But in complex systems, interactions with countless particles scramble their phases. The result? A clean split between worlds, known as decoherence.
Trust me, you will, Pharaoh. You'll hear it out. You're going to hear it out in the wild one day. And then it's going to blow your fucking mind, dude. You're going to be like, what? You're going to just hear it like in nonchalant conversation or something like that. Yeah, like that guy was a total psychopath. You're going to be like, wait, what did you say? You said psychopath, right? No, psychopath. Are you a pedophile?
Certainly, this branching of realities is not an abrupt event. It evolves as the decoherence spreads, exponentially suppressing interference between the different
It's like, yes, I am a quantum physicist.
branches. After decoherence, the universes can no longer have any causal influence on one another, so no, sadly, you can't make a council of bricks. Yet, the number of universes here would be stupendous, because this branching would have been going on since the Big Bang itself and across the entire cosmos. You can even create new universes yourself using the Universe Splitter app. This is not sponsored, where you can base your decisions based off a quantum measurement made over in Switzerland. So in this branch of reality, I'm posting this video at 2 p.m., but in another...
Okay, I clicked the link. I didn't see anything. It's is it still loading? Is this just a shit website? Still loading? I'll bring it up, but it's not loading. Sorry. Don't believe you. I don't believe you, Hog. You're a liar.
I posted it at 1 p.m. Both really happened. But if this whole idea of splitting bothers you, well, you're not alone. Theoretical physicist Bryce DeWitt is said...
No, you don't have to kill them at all. You don't know. She says I'm going to try to give them a secret handshake, and when they don't know it, I'm going to have to kill... Oh, if they don't know it? Yeah. Yeah, because you don't want people knowing the secret handshake. You don't... Yeah. It's, what is the secret handshake? Is it that? Just a normal handshake, but like... I don't... Hey, Jess! Maybe I can have her come in and help me.
To have visited Everett.
I have one right hand and one left hand. I'm kind of weird like that, so I can't really do normal handshakes. Can you help me with a secret handshake that we're going to do? Feral Pigeon's going to go kill people. So, what the secret handshake for the psychopaths is... You just lean your arm.
Wait, come back.
Okay, you're good.
No, it's the...
Oh, you gotta put your... Oh, do you know the secret? And then you unzip your pants and you're like, no, I don't know it. I don't know. Well, then I have to kill you. Okay, that's good. I don't know. What should a secret handshake be?
I like that.
I just hug your entire arm?
But you have to put your hand in my sleeve.
I have to put my hand in... So what if they're not wearing sleeves, though?
They have to wear sleeves. For the secret.
What if it's hot? I don't wear sleeves.
It'll look natural. It's fine.
I don't wear sleeves. Should I just wear sleeves without... I'll be wearing a short sleeve t-shirt with sleeves, which will know you'll know I'm a psychopath.
It's a lot of handy sleeves.
Like that guy's either a psychopath or a tranny. Ah, shit, YouTube. Whatever. I don't care. We'll figure it out. You guys send me the handshake, and I'll peruse and see if we can find a good one.
Praised him for the elegant mathematics of his idea, but told him that he was bothered by the gut feeling that he didn't feel like he was constantly splitting into parallel versions of himself. Everett is said to have coolly responded, "Do you feel like you're orbiting the sun at 30 kilometers per second?" "Touché," DeWitt said.
It's the same handshake for John's gay e-bike club. We don't have a handshake. We don't, there's no handshake. We haven't figured it out. Well, I mean, like, we will figure it out, but not right. I mean, we will. I don't know.
Seeding on the spot.
You think that's air you're breathing now?
Is Lawrence Fishburne in jail? In this reality? I know in some reality he's in jail because... But, you know, in this one, is he in jail? Is he dead?
In the quantum multiverse, your information might be proliferating across countless realities, but at least in this cool world. Now, back to the video.
Okay, so we got a definition. Christian came a sulcopath, noun, a person who possesses an extraordinary ability to sulk so profoundly and persistently that it influences the emotional atmosphere of an entire room. Often mistaken for deep thinkers or poets, sulcopaths are actually just upset no one noticed they were upset. But everyone noticed. It's like that meme. Like, they don't even know I'm upset. And then the other people are like, why is that guy such a fucking bummer? Because he has a sulcopath shirt. That's the meme. Somebody make it. I'm not doing it.
Amongst physicists,
Farrell?
the many worlds interpretation has grown in popularity.
Can we roll up our sleeves? No, you can't roll up your sleeves. Sleeves are against the rules. I don't care what temperature it is. You can have gloves, but you have to have no sleeves. You can wear like a parka. I don't give a shit, but it has to end right there. You got to show off the guns, okay? Guns. That's how they know. No sleeves. Sleeveless.
Thanks to its rigorous treatment of the Schrödinger equation. But as the idea has gained traction...
That was ChatGPT? No, it wasn't.
Many have realized that it implies a bizarre and radical consequence.
The idea... You didn't see the biker cut, Rabbit? You didn't see the biker cut? Wait, that wasn't the right one. Hoplo or King of All Pixels actually made the biker cut. Where did... I don't even know where it was. Brah. It was somewhere. Hold on. I'll figure it out. Maybe it's on his profile. There we go. Biker. That's the Daywave one. There we go. It's got the Sulk stream. You see it. Some peppermint daisies, right? Yep. Pretty tough. Pretty cool. So that's already been done.
Can be best thought of as a game of quantum Russian roulette.
You asked for a fake definition of sulcopath? I don't believe you. Send it. Screenshot and send it to me.
And was popularized by Max Tegmark in his book, A Mathematical Universe. He describes a quantum machine gun, which can fire up to once per second depending on the outcome of a quantum measurement. Specifically, each time the gun is triggered, it places a particle in a superposition where it's equally likely to be in two states at once, for example, spin up and spin down, and then it measures that particle. If spin down, the gun fires and kills you faster than human perception, else it just makes an audible click, and it repeats this every second. Now, according to Everett, there will be two parallel universes after the first second, one where you're dead and the other where you're alive. In other words, there is exactly one copy of you that has perceptions and a stream of consciousness both before and after the experiment. Now, since you can't experience...
Frail says we might get in a war with the Dancing Sandys. No, we won't. We're not going to get a war. No. What we do is we integrate into their society and breed with them and then overtake them genetically. So, and then eventually anybody who's a pure Dancing Sandy will get ostracized and pushed out and eventually executed 3 or 4 generations from now. So, it's the long con. Breed with their women and then eventually kill off the offspring that are not, at least mostly, peppermint daisies. Yeah.
And followed him over to the food court. I don't blame Thomas, of course.
That's the wrong one.
Not being alive, then the prediction is that you will hear an audible click and survive this measurement with 100% certainty. And of course, what's really bizarre is that you could sit there and experience dozens of clicks in a row, somehow
Damn. It even gives you how to pronounce it. Give me a fake definition for this word. Sulkopath. A person who possesses an extraordinary ability to sulk so profoundly and persistently that it influences the emotional atmosphere of the entire room, often mistaken for deep thinkers or poets. Sulkopaths are actually just upset. No one noticed they were upset. Example. We were having fun until Kevin went full sulkopath after losing at Uno. Of course. Because, us Peppermint Daisies love the Uno game. We love playing Uno, right? But we're not good sports. Go fuck yourself, ChatGPT. Go fuck yourself. That's okay. All right, fine. All right, you win.
time after time. After 40 sequential...
Big B says, nah, my dad is in the Butterscotch Boys. We don't have beef. We won't have beef. Butterscotch Boys, they're hard. They're hard. Butterscotch Boys?
Clicks, the Copenhagen interpretation says...
Never go full psychopath. So, if you're just Farrell for a 10. Thank you, Farrell. Says, wanted to stop in and give a little have a great night yell. Oh, you're leaving? Okay, Farrell. Thanks for coming.
Chance that you'd still be alive. But Many Worlds says that there will be, to 100% confidence, a version of you that survives this extraordinary sequence of events, and that you would thus be able to conclude that Everett's idea was right all along. In effect, then, you will be able to prove that the Many Worlds interpretation was correct. But it would be a strangely private proof. For in the other trillion universes, everyone else would just watch you die, wondering why you would do such a thing. They would not see this proof, and thus this experiment fails to convince the rest of the world. Although...
Yeah, so you're dead to everybody else. And then there's a million different, or an endless amount of worlds where you're alive or dead, and then they're all mourning for you and they're sad. So that's the gist of it, right? You are alive or dead. You're alive in this one, but you might be dead in an unlimited amount of realities where people mourned your loss and moved on. It is what it is. And a lot of people, you're like, why did I live in this? I was like a rock star or something like that. Well, the rock star blew his head off. And when the one where you were a president, he got his head blown off. And, you were a general of a South American country. The head, it blew off. So yeah, that's the thing. You the only one you survived in was the one you were lame. The most lame of you survived. So that's why you're here with us. Because you're a psychopath. See, I made it a thing. Christian was like, you're not gonna make that a thing. I did. I successfully made it a thing. It even has a definition. Look, right there. Screenshot it. Screenshot that. Because you're going to need it later. It's not even fake. You're going to need it later.
Of course. He could not have known what was coming any more than I did.
Anyways, I'm done with that video. We're going back to the mall.
And his suggestion to head across the road and eat was entirely...
Can we have a hood rat explain this? I don't know. Do you have a... He is pompous. He's gay. What do you expect? He's got to be gay. There's no way he's not gay. Christian for a $5. Thank you, bud. He says, congratulations on 698 followers. Great show. It was 700, but here's the thing. Bots follow me and then try to sell me things about we can really up your reach. And so because you got great material, but like you don't have the right. We can really hack the algorithm and stuff. Do you guys see those comments? I get them all the time, and then they like subscribe. Well, I lose a couple, so that's usually it'll come back. I'll have 700 in a couple days probably.
Friendly. But it does seem a cruel cosmic joke that everything which unfolded that night dropped me there.
That's real. That was us. We was. No, you wasn't. No. You're not a fucking samurai. You were never a samurai, bro. Come on. You just weren't. You were never a samurai. It's silly for me to even have to say that you do not descend from samurai. That's a silly thing for me to say. You can't pronounce samurai. Smra. You can't do it.
We went in with all the passive blindness of any who are visited by sudden disaster, blissfully unaware.
Bro, blacks made computers when they invented bongo beats, dude. Oh, right. Yeah. And then they lost the technology and then just can't fucking come up with it again. That's weird. That is some weird shit. I can't. That's wild.
The Fayette Mall food court itself is no strange locale. If you have seen the food court in a sizable America,
I want to see if I can do an ad. Would you guys mind if I did an ad? Let's see if I can do an ad. I gotta remove that. Remove. Then, If you're done letting big tech decide what you see, you need to check out Pickaxe. This is the anti-algorithm, anti-censorship platform built for creators. No algorithmically manipulated feeds, no data harvesting, and zero tolerance for digital gatekeeping. Real voices are already building there. The Vigilant Fox, Children's Health Defense, Naomi Wolf, Ann Vandersteel, Shannon Joy, Sergeant SGT Report, Red Pill 78, they're all on Pickaxe. You can write articles, auto-publish your Rumble videos, which are playable in the newsfeed, and soon you'll be able to blast out full email newsletters to your followers. Monetize how you want, paywalls, affiliate links, revenue sharing, it's all built in. Free verification with blue check referral perks, total control. If you're serious about declaring your independence from big tech, and experience true freedom of speech and freedom of reach, this is the platform. Check out at pickaxe.com and set up your account today. Oh, I hope they give me that one. I flubbed that. I hope they give me that one. Yeah. Okay. Boop.
American Mall, you've
I flubbed it. I flubbed that a lot. Hopefully they give me that.
more or less seen them all, regardless of which fast food franchises.
Oh, is Hog Dog still here? Hey, Hog, are you still here? Your thing popped up. Are you still here? Let's see if we can watch Hog Dog. Hog Dog's on the news. Our own Sulkopath, Hog Dog.
Single-engine plane hit the deck on Powers Boulevard this morning. What we're learning about the emergency landing along that busy stretch of road. Good evening. I'm Heather Skold.
I'm Josh Helmet. Thanks for joining us for your news at 6 o'clock. We begin again with that eye-popping scene not far from...
Is that him?
This is where drivers heading southbound this morning came...
Really, this does not seem like it's like that. It's a 2.5 minute...
face to face with something they probably thought
okay,
they would ever
a plane
see.
fell out of the
A plane
sky.
right in the middle of the road. Now the wreckage is gone, but now we hear from the pilot when he made his split decision to crash land the plane.
Mayday, mayday, mayday.
Just minutes after takeoff from Colorado Springs Airport, the pilot of a small aircraft radioed in trouble.
Yeah, I was on the phone with the police. Yeah, I had that aircraft.
I'm going to guess. Was it the fuel selector valve? Was it the fuel selector valve? Did you forget to turn on the fuel? That's what happened to Bob Dylan. I'm pretty sure that's what happened to Bob Dylan. He forgot to switch the fuel on in his plane and he crashed. Was it that?
Go down.
Then made the decision to put the plane down right here on Powers Boulevard. 3 people were on board and all survived. Firefighters say they quickly stopped a fuel leak before it could spark a bigger danger. Tow crews then worked through the morning to haul the plane.
Is that Hog right there?
Roadway.
Right there? That might have been him.
By early afternoon, the lanes here were back open, but traffic was impacted all day.
Hog, are you here?
Statement the FAA said
Is that him?
pilots are trained to find the most suitable
I
landing
think that's him.
area given the circumstances.
I'm pretty sure that's him.
Now traffic here on Powers Boulevard live in Colorado Springs. Samantha Hildebrandt, KRDO 13.
Okay, you did a bad job. Samantha, quit. You should quit your job. You're a bad reporter, and you should feel sorry for that. Despite what you heard for fives, Genko, he says, explain this, smarty pants. Afro Samurai. I'm not going to explain that. It's 4 minutes long. It's Afro Samurai. It's a cartoon. All right? I'm not explaining this. I'm not even going to put it up. I'm not. I'll put it up. I ain't explaining that, bro. Come on. I'm not look, that's a cartoon. That's not even historical. It's not, no.
Pizza joints and Asian eateries rent up the stalls in them. The place sits just inside one of the...
Hog Dog left, and we played his thing, and he left. Oh, Bob Dylan is still alive? Well, then who am I thinking of? Who's that singer who crashed his plane?
Mall's main entrances, and is comprised of a large, angular ring of cramped restaurant fronts surrounding a broad cafeteria-esque dining area in the center. The doors out to the parking lot are on the western side of the room, and the hall leading into the gaudy storefront-lined bowels of the mall itself are opposite them, on the eastern edge. We split and each grabbed what we wanted.
John Denver, thank you.
2 slices of Sbarro and I a plate of relative...
Not Kobe Bryant. You think Kobe Bryant was a helicopter pilot? Oh yeah, he's a basketball star / helicopter pilot, Kobe Bryant. No, Kobe Bryant was not a helicopter pilot. But he did crash in his helicopter. Was it an accident? I kind of doubt it. I think, but who knows?
Inoffensive rice from a Thai place. We met
yeah, it
back
was
up
Notorious
at a small
B.I.G.
table near the rear of the food court.
Notorious B.I.G. definitely. He was flying around in his helicopter and it crashed. Because I don't even know if they had that technology back then. I'm going to assume they didn't have helicopters before, when was that, the 90s? No, they didn't.
Overlooking the hall eastward out.
Go ahead and double check. Dude, double check. The helicopter was invented in 2005. Look it up.
Towards the interior shop.
I'm just going to start, outright lying to you guys. Just for, for fun.
We could people watch there. Perhaps the only...
John Denver got into an experimental airplane with design flaws. He did that to himself. Yeah, it was an experimental aircraft, sure. Did it have design flaws? Probably. But the reason why he forgot to switch the fuel selector valve, the engine's choked, and he crashed.
Real source of entertainment to be found in the mall for me. And we did just that as we caught up, making rolling commentary.
True Eagle says he flew in fog, he was destined to death. Kobe? No, he was not destined to death. That was like a $5 million helicopter. They had the ability to fly in fog. It had radars. It had all the things a $5 million helicopter will have. It would have been fine. It just decided to crash into a hill.
On this overdressed couple or that unwashed teenager between Rem.
Yeah, behind the pilot's seat. Yeah, so Yeah, it was behind the pilot seat, right? It was like back here. And so I used to fly Cessnas. I used to fly 172s. You guys learn a lot about me. I did a lot of crazy shit. All right, there's more.
Reminiscences or recollections. Thomas complained about the course load he had, and I urged him to escape
You could be right, Dan. You could be right.
Town and kayak or run with the rest of us more often, to extricate himself from all the plastic and get out into the real world again. It was pleasant, only tarnished in my memory because of
You know that about him.
the thing which brought the meal to an end. I can't say exactly when I knew something was wrong. Too much reflection has, paradoxically, clouded my thoughts about that night. I cannot know now what is inferred night.
Did I fly it up any alien spaceships? Like Independence Day? No, because I'm still here. In this reality. In another reality, I did do that. Remember the quantum thing? Yeah, I did do that. And in another reality, I'm crazy. Dennis Quaid? Dennis Quaid is his name? Yeah, he's crazy. Didn't he think somebody's after him?
Nightmare, and what actually occurred. But the
Harrison Ford has crashed several times and still alive. Kind of crazy. I think I've heard that. Yeah, I think I've heard that. He's still alive today, and he's like 100 years old.
few times Thomas ever dared discuss the incident with me guardedly. He seemed to agree that there was something off before ever the noises and darkness came. Something subtle, and tied more to the intangible atmosphere of the room rather than any change in temperature or visibility.
I want to know what happened
I
here.
remember that, as time dragged on, we both drifted off the conversation about future sessions of the game we'd been sharing, and spent a full minute or more staring off over our table down the East Hall.
He crashed a plane on a golf course? I mean, if you're going to crash, that's a pretty good place to crash. A golf course? Yeah, that's a pretty good place to crash.
Silent. The people there, too, seemed shaken somehow.
Did Gary
with
Busey
some
crash?
seeming
No.
to hurry their paces and
It
talk.
wasn't. Well, Gary Busey did crash his motorcycle, and it kind of like messed up his brain. So he probably had a messed up brain before that, but yeah.
Lost nervous glances over their shoulders as they bustled to leave the corridor, and others locking up and gazing around like deer scanning a woodline for a threat they sense, but cannot yet see. That was the essence of it, a feeling beyond articulation. I think we all knew something was wrong, and that wrongness, having crept up unexpected, grew stronger and stronger until even the least aware had to feel it in one way or another. It was near dark by then, when the unsettlement had fallen upon the food court and the Shoppers' Avenue beyond. Well past 7, the sun had all but set beyond the walls of the mall, and its light no longer spilled in through the doors and sunroofs of the building. The bulbs overhead.
Dan says, I made a TikTok today. I feel ashamed. Well, don't make a TikTok.
Seemed to dull
Don't
in the
make
hall in
TikToks.
front of us.
I think I have a
Below
TikTok. Ardenshire probably runs it. But, yeah. Follow me on TikTok.
Rumble sounding.
I don't know what it is.
Far off and noticeable more as a vibration than as an audible noise. Heat, lightning, and thunder, I remember thinking, though the evening had seemed too cool for it, and the sky too...
I can't get into TikTok. I can't get in. I don't know. Maybe I'm not Zoomer enough. I have no caps. For real? I can't get into TikTok. I'm not a TikTok guy. I'm not a TikToker. I tried it a couple of times. I'm like, I'm not interested in this. Not my thing.
Too clear and cloudless. A tangible chill came...
I'm not complaining, but this guy's making me sleep. I just wanted to know what happened. Honestly, I just wanted to know what happened, but we can watch something else. Honestly, it is kind of boring for me too. Internet Mysteries. Not that one. Let's watch this guy make jet engines. Shimo Street says, TikTok, are you on Grindr because of gay? Yeah. Yeah.
This is not a turbojet engine. The turbojet engine is the creme de la creme of jet engines. It's just a beautiful piece of engineering that turns combustion into entropy-defying art.
What makes this engine so elegant is the fact that its working principle is, in theory, so simple.
You have some form of bladed compressor that sucks air in. Then you mix that high-pressure air with fuel and ignite it. This generates a lot of gases that rush through the exhaust and generates thrust.
But here is the genius part of it.
In the path of the high-speed exhaust, you place a turbine that is connected to the compressor. The gases spin the turbine, which in turn also spin the compressor. And voila! You achieved a self-sustaining mechanical wonder.
Now, there's a reason why I said it's simple in theory. In reality, all of the components in a turbojet engine need to be perfectly balanced, because the compressor needs to rotate at tens of thousands of rotations per minute. And it's not easy to make the turbine reach that speed. But here is an idea. What if we cut the turbo out of turbojet engine, and instead of using a turbine to rotate the compressor, we use an electric motor? This idea sounds cool and everything, but I still have a big problem. I suck at metal work, and if I want to get this done properly, I kinda have to do it in metal. Luckily for me, there's a lot of metal parts.
You know this guy, you know, in Texas? He does good stuff.
Parts you can just buy off the shelf that come in the right size and shape for a jet engine.
I'm subbed to
For example, butane cans.
So, I had this idea of using 2 butane canisters to make the body of the engine. The shape and dimension seemed just fine, so I started by emptying them out.
Goofy, can you make me a jet engine, please? I got a pair of skates I want to go fast on. Jet skates would be pretty sweet.
No.
Ooh, that made me nervous, dude. I was like, I hope you emptied that first. Sure, 10K. I can actually get a JetCat turbine for 10K. Like, if we're running 10K, hold on. JetCat. I think I'd get one for like 5K. JetCat. Yeah, one of these bad boys. 5K right here. Yep. $6,000. Yeah, that could be pretty sweet. I think they're about yay big. Something like that. 10 kilograms of thrust. That is not overwhelming. That is not. I'm sorry, if I'm spending it's Canadian dollars. So it's $4,200 in US. But still, that's 22 pounds of thrust. That ain't great. I'm going to need at least 10 of them. If I'm supposed to go airborne, I have to account for the fuel supply. So I'm going to need like 12 of them. And then I'm going to have to put them on some sort of like wing, or it's going to be a lot. That's going to be expensive. But yeah, can you make one out of plastic? Can you make one of these out of plastic for me? Because I know that's what you do. You make things out of plastic. So these are for like model airplanes. This is 22 kilograms of thrust. So that's 50 pounds, something. That's better. $6,000. Can we watch it run? Skates and e-bikes. That was a terrible video. I mean, 50 pounds of thrust, I could probably put that on like a boat or something like that. That'd be pretty fun. That'd be a lot of fun, actually. And if I put 50 pounds of thrust onto a bike, that shit would get me somewhere. I'd be going fast. I'd be going pretty quick. You drive a hard bargain, 7K. $7,000. No. Build a forge in your backyard and build. So I'm supposed to build a forge out of like what? Bricks and mud? And then fashion a jet engine with my advanced engineering degree and my bricks and mud. Oh, and my ball peen hammer and anvil. Which would be sweet. I mean, that would take some skill that I don't have. I don't have that skill. I wish I did. Trust me, I did. I do. I wish I had that kind of talent. I don't. I mean, I'm barely scraping by with streaming. You know, you think I'm building jet engines? You think I'm like going all apocalypto and like putting bees inside of banana leaves and throwing them at people? No. No. Iron Man did do it in a cave. And Wakanda is real in the movies. So those are two impossible things. Christian will do it for $200. But I bet he'd send it to me and it'd just be a crudely drawn, you know, picture. And there would be an arrow. It says jet engine. I'd be like, yeah. Yep. It looks good. And I tape it onto my bike. I'm like, sweet. I make the noises with my mouth. What are we talking about again? I don't know. I have no idea. Carbon 66 says the mall was full of black people. Ooh. Yeah, I'm not going to that mall. I've seen those malls. I'm not going.
Okay, so we have the body of the engine. Next comes the compressor. Luckily for me, the compressor stays in the cold part of the engine, which means I can just 3D print it.
There you go, Goofy boots. You can make jet engine parts.
The compressor seems to be working pretty well, but to turn this into a jet engine, I need combustion. And this is where things get tricky. Now, I know what you're thinking. Tricky? Why? Can't you just inject butane gas into the engine and ignite it?
Well, I can, but that's going to be as efficient as projecting compressed air on a candle. Combustion loves air, but not high-speed air. She prefers slow-moving, high-pressure air. And to make that happen, the pros use an annular combustion chamber. And to get...
Annular? It doesn't mean anal.
Get that fancy combustion chamber, I had an idea.
Sorry, everybody.
There's this type of welding called spot welding, in which you short-circuit an electric current through two pieces of thin sheet metal, and they melt in a spot and glue themselves to each other.
This seems like the perfect process for me. There's only one small detail. I don't have a spot welder, and they are not exactly cheap. But if all I need to do is short...
Yeah, but you have 1.7 million subs, and this video got 3.3 million views. So I bet you can afford one. I just bet you can. Here's one. Here's a jet engine on a bike.
Jet bike!
Propane, huh? That seems fun. That seems heavy, dude. That seems insanely dangerous. Carbon says spot welders are not expensive. Can you just get a normal welder and then spot weld with it? And like a normal welder is like, what, $150? Like a stick welder or like a TIG welder or something like that? Wear a helmet, you retard. You're on a jet bike. That looks like it's poorly made. You're on a poorly made jet bike. Whee! I'd have fun. I'd have fun.
Oh my god, this is unstable! This thing's mental! You'll only force me to break away, alright? You'll never learn,
This is before you had kids? Well, yeah, I mean, And then bikes to the engines. Oh, come on, it's a flat tire.
Shoppers aren't meant to do 50, are they?
What a retard. God, that's a death machine. That's a death machine.
Jet bicycle!
Does this guy ever stop screaming? Do you ever stop screaming, bro? Okay, that hover round, the fat people cart, I would love. That would be fun, right? It sounded like a go-kart, like a two-stroke, which would be fun. I'd have fun.
That should be easy enough to do, right? I think I'm gonna build one.
So you're just gonna build it, and you want me to think it's expensive. You're just gonna build one in your garage. I don't think it's expensive. I think he just wants to build one. Okay, that's clever. That's clever. I'll give you that. That's clever.
I can't believe this is actually working. Well, I guess all I need to do now is cut some templates and weld them
I can
together.
believe it worked.
Let's get the combustion
I
chamber.
can see that working. It doesn't seem that crazy. I like these engineering videos. Some of them are pretty cool. Alright, I'm going to move on a little bit.
Whoa! It's working! It's working pretty well. Did you see that? Let's try it again. Jesus Christ! Did you see that?
Did you break something?
Do you see this shot here? It's pretty cool, right? The problem with recording it is that I had to put the camera behind the engine, which was not a good tactical decision.
No.
Guys,
It's probably hot.
what happened? I burnt my microphone. It looks like toast. I hope it works. If it doesn't, I'm screwed.
No, you're not. You just burn the windsock. It'll be like $5.
First of all, let me just share with you how happy I am about the fact that I built a jet engine and it didn't melt in the first 10 seconds. I mean, I'm so happy that I don't even.
I kind of think it did. I mean, like, it will melt. There's no way that thing's not melting.
My microphone, especially because he's still working. I'm using it right now. Second of all, I still don't know if the engine has any thrust. I mean, I could build a test stand with a load cell.
This guy's
to
a
see exactly how
nerd,
much
dude.
thrust the engine is generating.
This guy's a nerd.
Or I could put it in something with wheels and see if it moves. I think I'm gonna go with the second one.
In this case, the thing with wheels was a skateboard I stole from my sister Clara. It's best if she doesn't find out because she tends to be a little aggressive.
Hey, Clara.
I'm not a man, you know? So before I adapted the skateboard, I had a little bit of fun. I am a rocket!
You're ruining it. That's a cool skateboard, too. That's a little smasher. Oh shit, dude.
I know that the skateboard is it's facing the wrong way, but it's the best way to put the engine. So, shut up. The jet skateboard was ready, and to make sure the engine was running hot enough, I made a small, technical, very quick test. Look who's here. Time to get some revenge.
He's gonna burn a tomato.
Stay still and smile.
You couldn't tell by his hat. No, no. I mean, the guy's a nerd. I can tell by his hat. I can tell by his hat.
Let me get you a little higher.
Burn that tomato.
You're gonna surf, boy.
Hey, kitty. It's my cat. Who's running that account? It's actually got a picture. I don't think that's my cat specifically, but it's pretty close. That's pretty close. So, who are you? John's cat says the orange cat sucks. That is what she would say. That is what she would say. She'd be like, I'm gonna kill that guy. So whoever's running this account is doing his homework. Whoa!
Oh my god! Jesus Christ, that was a bad idea.
Hey, at least you were wearing eye protection. Grab the kitty. I will in 1 minute.
Tomato mergers aside, I was actually anxious to see if the engine was putting out some thrust. So I put the skateboard on the floor and gave it a go.
I bet it puts out a lot of thrust. I guarantee you it does. Okay, that's pretty cool. Okay. Sulkopath is not going to happen. Okay, it's got to be Christian. This has got to be Christian running this account. That's Christian running. Christian, that's you, isn't it? I don't see Christian anywhere else. Christian, no, he's not in the same room.
Did you catch that?
It's like Superman.
Small for competition.
I know my cat can't type.
I mean, it's still.
I know that
it's
for a
still going pretty
fact.
Slowly, but it's pretty cool.
Kind of.
Yeah, this is pretty heavy.
And it will happen. It will happen. Wait, where's that? See? Sulkopath. Sulk profoundly, persistently. It influences. So I'm just going to bum everybody out. Does that, you know what? I'm going to bum everybody out by going to premium. What do you guys think about that? I'm going to go to premium and bum everybody out. So everyone says, Christian says, I'm right here. I don't trust any of you. I'm going to premium right now. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go premium right now. Hold on. Where is it? Right there. Okay. Goodbye, non-paying people. Goodbye. Goodbye.